As you may know, there's another big gathering taking place tonight in Washington, D.C. Did you hear about it? A large group of Hollywood actors and Washington media are consoling each other in a hotel ballroom in our nation's capital right now.
Somebody just won the night. It was the beatdown in Nerd Town. The White House Correspondents' Dinner proceeds without our president, Donald Trump, who wisely skipped that orgy of preening self-importance to hold his own event, an estate that helped him win. But first, he had to find Mike Kelly.
Where's Mike Kelly? Where is Mike Kelly? He's here someplace. Where is he? Boy, were you great on television this morning.
Come on, Mike Kelly, get it together, will you? Then he reminded the crowd what he gave up to be with them.
A large group of Hollywood actors and Washington media are consoling each other in a hotel ballroom. They're trapped at the dinner, which will be very, very boring.
Can I see the little girl again?
A large group of Hollywood actors and Washington media are consoling each other in a hotel ballroom.
I don't know why I love it. And there's so much more.
Let's rate the media's 100 days. Should we do that? Should we do it? Because, as you know, they are a disgrace. Very dishonest people. And not all of them. You know, we call it the fake news. Not all of them. Do you notice now everybody's using the word fake news? Where did you hear it first, folks?
It's amazing. So this was a stroke of brilliance. He's like the cool outcast at school who tells the snotty rich kids, I don't want to go to your stupid party. I'll throw my own. Thank you very much. And I'm going to invite all my friends. I'm going to invite all my friends, and we're going to have ponies, free ice cream, face painting, a guy who juggles stuff, and it's going to be bigger, and it's going to be better than your stupid party with your stupid people in your stupid tuxes, eating stupid pasta, drinking stupid wine while taking stupid pictures of stupid people. And that's exactly what the president did. He did it in Pennsylvania. Harrisburg, named for Neil Patrick Harrisburg. The Keystone State, the Coal State, the Oil State, the Quaker State, the State of Independence, the home of the Liberty Bell, and Bob Saget. Both are cracked, and from the looks of things, going nowhere. So President Trump kicked the media's rump. He threw a party and thousands showed up. So while you've got a friend in Pennsylvania, Trump showed you that he has a ton. It's how he does it. And no one else would ever think of doing this. Whether you like him or not, he's one of a kind, and he's ours. I wouldn't have it any other way. All right, let's welcome tonight's guest. Move up so I can read. She now has 2 places to be miserable. She's co-hosting a new show starting Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern called The Fox News Specialist, Catherine Tim. All right. He picks his teeth with a redwood. Actor, former bodyguard, and my massive sidekick, Tyrus. Who is this person? I've never seen her before in my life. How did she get in here? Get her out of here. She's so bright, aliens can see her from space. One of my co-hosts on The Five, Kimberly Guilfoyle. And he puts more people in stitches than a grade school bully. He's the author of the forthcoming book, Mean Dads for a Better America. Comedian Tom Shalhoub. All right.
That's awesome.
That's a great idea.
Kimberly, because you ran over here from another show, I'm going to go to you first. What did you make of the rally?
You know, I thought it was brilliant that he did this because, you know, he said that he was for the working men and women of America. That was the movement that put him into the Oval Office. So that's what he did. The prom king, dirted the prom, and had his own party, like you said.
Yeah.
And I think it really worked well for him. He gets invigorated. He becomes like the Energizer POTUS, like the Energizer Bunny, when he's with all of his people and they're chanting, and you've got little girls doing the thumbs down, you know, so they play along. He has a lot of fun, and it makes him feel good about himself. So I think, yeah, he looked like he had a fantastic time.
You know, Kat, you know, he treats the presidency like a comedian on tour.
He does.
Right?
Yeah, he absolutely does. But he's having a great time. He could go to that party where everyone would be making fun of him, or
Yeah.
he could throw his own party where everyone loves. That's why I'm here instead of the dinner.
Yes.
Look, everybody cheer for me. Cheer for me. Great. Great stuff. See, I wouldn't be able to get that over there. Everyone would be like, who are you? But these people know.
Yeah, they know
This
who
is
you
my
are.
Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I totally get it.
It's really true.
That's true. You know, Tyrus, you know what this is? It's like, you know when you're not getting love at home?
Actually, I know that quite well, actually. Yes, I do.
You seek the other woman or man in kind of an interesting way. Isn't Trump looks at the media and he goes, you know what? I'm not getting any love from them. Let's go to Pennsylvania.
He's going to get in trouble for that, you saying that suggestion.
First of all, I'm sorry, guys, but damn, man, eventually you're going to have to deal with the other half of the country. Everyone's making this like it's a cool thing. This is like, I had a little brother, and when he acted like a brat, we wouldn't play with him. So he'd go in his room with his toys, and I played by myself. Eventually, he's going to have to come out and deal with everybody else.
Does he?
He's not. Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay.
You know, President Obama didn't go on Fox News like for forever, right?
But he did, and let's keep it real. It wasn't real nice to him either, was it? I mean, it took forever for someone to actually say Mr. President. For a while, it was like, yo, Barack. So
That's
but
not
at least
true.
he showed up. At least he showed. Oh, come, keep it real. Let's keep it real. Let's eventually, like, going to your base is great. I can go to my best friends and they'll tell me I'm brilliant, I'm right, I'm smart, I win all my arguments.
Yeah.
Eventually, I'm going to have to go home and deal with the other side.
Yeah.
At some point, he's got to start bringing this country together. He has to. He's a president.
I think he is bringing everybody together. Everybody I like, Tom.
Exactly.
No, I'm kidding. Anyway, I think Tyrus has a point that this is an easy thing to do, but I think it was also the right thing to do, because why go to a place where people are going to ridicule you? Go and show why you won. Go to the place where you won.
The resistance should love these rallies. They annoy the resistance because they see all the people who love Trump and it goes against their worldview, but they should encourage this because he's so happy. Trump is so happy. He's not going to start any wars after one of these rallies.
That's true.
He's in a good mood, yeah.
And every once in a while, I love every 20 minutes, he steps out of himself like his own guardian angel, and he turns and he says, what's better than a Trump rally? He's his own audience. It's fantastic.
Isn't it great? I like when he does that.
Kimberly,
Yes.
He won this night, I think.
For sure. That's what everybody's talking about. It's as if, I mean, you know, the White House press correspondence dinner, who cares? It doesn't exist. I mean, I gave up my ticket.
Yeah.
I'm here instead, right? So it makes a lot of sense. He really seemed to kind of be in his lane and in his zone, feeling very good about his accomplishments. I particularly loved the poetry that he read,
Right.
the song "The Snake."
Yeah.
He whipped that out and started reading about it and talking about the old lady pulling the snake to her bosom. It was charming.
Yes, and we'll stop
As it
right.
always is, yes.
Yes, I want to. A lot of people don't really know what the White House Correspondents' Dinner is, but it's happening in Washington right now. And for anyone who isn't sure about what the event is, here's our latest installment of News for Kids.
So, kids, what is the White House Correspondents' Dinner? It's where adults roughly the same age as your mommy and daddy get dressed up and eat dinner with other mommies and daddies. These adults work in media, and the dinner lets them hang out with people who are better looking and more famous than them. They're called movie stars and TV personalities. Some are big stars like Chad Lowe, and Chad Lowe. The dinner began as an event for journalists. The president would come, and that was important. But like a caterpillar turning into a butterfly, it went from a modest event into a self-absorbed gala for sweaty social climbers who act like children in front of celebrities. Now that's changed. President Trump dropped out. He made other plans, leaving everyone else to eat their penne alla vodka and listen to anti-Trump jokes on their own. Good for him. Those people don't like President Trump, and now he's throwing his own party with his own friends. The White House Correspondents' Dinner is a lot less important than it used to be this year. It's like a children's birthday party without the guest of honor or presents. In short, it's pretty lame. And this has been News for Kids.
Best part, Kat, about the Correspondents' Dinner is when you go on Twitter and you see a picture of a political reporter with his arm around a really awkward actor who doesn't know who the political reporter is, and they're like this, pretending like they know each other, and it just seems kind of sad.
It does seem really, really sad, especially when you think about how excited that they got for all of those things. And Trump, I mean, how much time do you think he spends getting ready for those rallies? I think that's just the way that his mind works.
Right.
He approaches life as if it's a rally for himself.
Yes.
Which I think would be a great way to live. You know, sometimes I get sad. If I could change my thought process a little bit and talk to myself the way Trump talks to himself, I'm sure that everything would be great.
Yes, I don't count on it. Tom, can we just admit that he's more interesting than the media? He's more interesting than the people at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. That's why we're doing this.
And he shouldn't have gone. I mean, it's a roast. You know, the idea of a roast is you're supposed to respect someone and give them good-natured ribbing. They don't respect him. They don't like him. So why should he go? It's,
look,
you know, they
some of us have trouble with going back to things that hurt us, Tom. It happens.
Wow, is that about something that happened that I don't know about?
I don't know, I don't know, guy. Damn. You should be able to walk in the room, the omnipresent, deal with it, and take a few jokes and give some back.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, come on.
Maybe next year.
He said that though. He was he was already trying to make a great deal and say, well, I may come back to Harrisburg, or I may go to the dinner. If he goes, I'm going.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Because then that'll be the place to be.
Don't glare at me like that, Tyrus. I think you're going to hit me.
You've changed.
All right, up next, the greatest monologue of the first 100 days. It will blow your mind, or at the very least, your nose. So while everyone talks about Trump's first 100 days, I'm thinking of the next 100 days, or as I like to call it, the second 100 days.
The first 100 days, part 2, the second 100 days.
Yes, I've copyrighted it, so you better not steal it. Speaking of steel, did you know that steel comes from iron? Iron comes from iron ore, and iron ore you dig out of the ground.
Steel comes from iron. Iron comes from iron ore. And iron ore, you dig out of the ground. Iron ore deposit, iron ore deposit. Gigantic deposit of iron ore, big iron ore deposit.
I learned so much from her. Like the names of cool Russian cities.
Yekaterinburg, which is now the 4th largest city in Russia. Yekaterinburg. Closing in on Yekaterinburg. Put them all in the basement of the house where they had been holding them in Yekaterinburg. Yekaterinburg. In Yekaterinburg. He bulldozed that house in Yekaterinburg. Back in Yekaterinburg. Google pictures of Yekaterinburg. Yekaterinburg is an interesting place. Yekaterinburg. He lives full-time and works full-time in Yekaterinburg. This kid living in Yekaterinburg, Russia, from his perch in Yekaterinburg.
We have 100 more days of that. Now, we've seen a lot of executive action so far from the president, but yesterday's, which expands offshore drilling, does 3 things. It creates jobs, it reduces our dependence on foreign nuts for our oil, and it's offshore, reminding fish that we won. In your face, fish. But some promises haven't been met. Perhaps it's not that easy.
Well, I loved my previous life. I had so many things going. I actually This is more work than in my previous life. I thought it would be easier.
Now, the media thinks that this is some terrible admission, but is it really? To me, it's transparency, what they've been whining for, and what average politicians never ever give you. He basically said what we would say. I thought it would be easier. Say that every time I use the bathroom. I'm getting old. Sorry, Kimberly. But we get it. We know how Trump campaigned. He was the 8th grader running for class president who promised no more homework and free dress Fridays. No one really thinks it's possible, but we liked hearing it. And we figure he'll figure the rest out later. So did he? Well, he got us Gorsuch, the Keystone Pipeline, more drilling, less regulation, reduced border crossing, 94 dead ISIS from the mother of all bombs. That's 94 fewer than we had 100 days ago. Not bad. But I get it. His style can be scary. But it's a pattern by now. Look at China's shift on North Korea. Why now? Trump made us stink and made them think. See, Trump is the Kool-Aid president. Remember Kool-Aid Man? That giant, horrifying pitcher-shaped monster that would crash through a brick wall? Scared the crap out of you. But then it pours you a refreshing, ice-cold drink. That's Trump. Initially, see, he scares you, and then he makes you a cool drink.
I know.
And everybody comes together. Fact is, Trump did all right for the first 100. You know, we're still here. I mean, we believe the media, the planet should have imploded into a fiery death ball. That's the funny thing. The media set Trump up for success by exaggerating impending doom that never came. That was their wishful thinking. Instead, Trump showed us that he's just a guy trying to do his job, and his reward, an anti-honeymoon, which, believe it or not, is better than a real honeymoon. Think about it. The logic of a honeymoon is awful. Hey, let's start with the best time ever, then it's all downhill from here. No presidencies should suck at the start and become great. I mean, whatever. All I know is it's going to get better. The next 100 days are going to be great. Kimberly, my reverse honeymoon theory is genius. Imagine if your marriage starts out terrible and then the last 2 weeks of your life are awesome.
Well, there you go. But see, I approach it a different way. Yes, if you divorce quickly enough after the honeymoon, you just focus on the good part, right? And you enjoy the trip.
You only eat the frosting on the cake. That's what you do. You take part of the honeymoon and then you get out. Do you have any
Secrets out.
Yeah. Do you have any executive orders you'd like to see?
Immediately. Okay, executive order. Remove Pelosi from office. She should retire. We're trying to help. We're trying to help. Okay, because something's not quite right there. She can bring Schumer. Right, with her. And also, I would like to see him remove 2 Supreme Court justices so we can get 2 more picks.
I don't think those kind of executive orders, when they involve the word remove, it sounds a bit scary to me.
I should have called them a removal order.
Yes, I don't know if that's possible.
But it's exciting.
Yeah, Kat, do you have any executive orders?
Well, I'm a libertarian, so I'm not a big fan of, overuse of executive power.
Look at you.
We want to keep it all constitutional, but if I were president, I would probably have a couple that I would need. Like, if you don't text me back, might be like a mandatory minimum situation. That's just so I can focus on my job. It'd be for the good of the country.
When somebody doesn't
ghosting.
When somebody doesn't text you back, you can't do anything, right?
Yeah, you can't do anything.
Yeah, it can't work. You just sit there.
You can't work. So, I think it's fair.
All right. Tyrus, I'm sure you have...
Yeah, just hold on. First of all, you brought the Kool-Aid Man back?
Yes!
Yeah.
He's the reason why I don't wear red sweaters. After that, I'd like to change my executive order. I'd like to ask for justifiable ass kickings and get a tax write-off for him. So, you unbelievable Kool-Aid Man.
He's drinking the Kool-Aid now, right?
It's actually bad for your heart.
Greg is.
And when I was growing up, Kool-Aid you ate with a fork. It was so thick. So, I
love
There was no
Kool-Aid.
sugar. I just
No,
remember
it's
going
so
like this with
delicious.
sugar. Is that enough?
Kool-Aid
I
is
think
great.
so.
Yeah,
I
you
think
did
so.
it wrong.
You could make it as sweet as you want. Just like Country Time lemonade, Tom.
And,
Oh, yeah.
and Tang.
And Tang.
Oh my God, delicious.
Tom, I'm sure you have some interesting executive orders. Keep
Why
them
don't
clean.
we start by repealing all of President Obama's executive orders?
That was even cheaper than what I did earlier on the show.
Tom learned a long time ago that if you stand up, you get applause. Problem is, I stand up, nobody notices. I actually get shorter when I stand
I'm
up.
confused. I thought we were gonna have fun with our executive orders.
But it's
Like, like that's what you do?
You want a do-over?
Just repeal everything? And
That's-
no, I don't have an issue with Trump. I'm fine. I respect
Well,
the
mine was
office.
removing.
But I was gonna have fun with executive orders. You know, like I was like the Kardashians were gonna have to like. Before they were allowed back on TV, they had to go to Korea and give Kim Jong-un a Pepsi, like just on the way they're back. No, you know, make it a Diet Pepsi, and they'd be like, "No, you need the Diet Pepsi." And if they get through that, then they're allowed back on TV.
Oh my goodness.
You know, like safe
Well, that is
spaces
how to
was
solve
if you
everything.
go to a safe space, they tie you to a rocket, send you to Afghanistan for the weekend, so you have something to really be upset about. I thought we were gonna have fun with executive orders, not.
You know, I have one executive. It's for Law and Order.
Yeah.
But the TV show, Law and Order SVU. Just admit that the killer might be a deranged, psycho, drug-crazed maniac, and not like a really handsome, successful architect. Like every time on Law and Order, they always have the twist. They arrest the homeless guy, and the homeless guy actually is innocent, but he saw the guy who did it, and it's always a rich, Upper West Side socialite architect.
So it's official. You have no life. You're one of the people that sits and watches the Law and Order SVU marathons in a row.
Because
where it's always the handsome architect.
Because they start the next one before the other one ends.
I know.
My only issue is that you watch SVU. That's like the worst one.
It is
I've
the-
seen
it
all
is
Like
the
regular
worst
Law and
one.
Order was cool. Sometimes they make it, sometimes they don't. Some guy gets
It's
away.
terrible. It is
SVU
terrible.
is terrible.
And I love how what they're doing now to us. When something awful is going to be revealed, the music builds. It's like a. And then they start talking really slow.
It's very exciting. Right?
It is. As I try to explain it to the audience, going, what is wrong with him? Coming up, we'll pay our last respects to free speech. Thanks, Berkeley. So, here's the week in a nutshell. Berkeley, Ann Coulter was coming. Opponents threatened action. Berkeley canceled. Ann Coulter was coming anyway. Organizers couldn't guarantee her safety. Ann Coulter cancels. Leftists win. Freedom squelched. Portland. Rose Parade scheduled. Some Republicans wanted a march. Opponents threatened action. Organizers couldn't guarantee their safety. Rose Parade canceled. Leftists win. Freedom squelched. Now, I'm no dressmaker, but I see a pattern here.
Oh, that was good.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Up all night thinking of that one, huh?
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, all right, then I'm not going to you first. Tom,
Oh, I'm sad.
isn't now this kind of a cop-out where they say we can't protect you rather than saying we're trying to suppress your speech? In a way, they're suppressing your speech by saying we won't protect you.
I mean, they're the ones. They're like it's violence. They're causing violence. It's like you're the violent one.
Right.
They're the
Yes.
ones doing it. And the thing is, they've got it all. Everything they do is wrong. It makes people more curious. They're making conservatives into rebels.
Right, which is good.
Yes, young people love rebels. So now they're like, who's Ann Coulter? A lot of young people don't even know who she is.
Yeah.
Now they're searching for her.
Yeah.
They want to find out, what's she all about.
I like your little
Like
thing for
weird
searching.
typing.
Yes,
thing.
Yeah, the computer.
searching.
Yeah.
Very, very disturbing way of searching. It's true. Like people who've never read her book will actually go and read her books, which are jam-packed with facts.
You know what? How I found Iron Maiden?
What?
Tipper Gore wanted to put a warning label on the album, and I was like, I'm gonna go seek those guys out.
That's a good point. Tyrus, that's a
nice
very good
callback.
point. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't get into professional wrestling until I was told it was harmful.
You know what, Greg? I'm getting real tired of you, Greg. You keep this up, I'm going to make my own show with just me and a bunch of big guys, and we'll just talk because it's my little safe place. You can't have it both. You can't have it both ways.
Yeah.
So just have Ann go to is there a conservative college somewhere that she go speak?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is the divided country that we're in right now, where if someone we can't provide your safety, Ann should have called me. Somehow we'll go.
You're
You know what I'm
available.
saying? You should have went.
Yeah, I actually spoke at Berkeley a few years ago, but nobody cared.
Yeah, and it used to be if I didn't like what you said, I didn't go.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, hey, Greg speaking. I don't hear that. So I didn't go. I found something else to do on Saturday night. But now because there's a reaction for making threats, you know, go and then form. I mean, she got the money.
Yeah.
Put a wall of people in front of there. I mean, it's just at some point the division in this country. Either we're just going to be separate, keep it separate. If you go to a leftist school, then leftist stuff.
I think having blue and red schools is a great idea.
You might as well at this point.
Because then you know, Kat. You know, it's like if I ever have kids, I will go no, I want to look. I want to see which schools they can go to. But then again, they'll rebel against the school they go to.
They absolutely will. Well, the thing is Ann Coulter kind of wins this, right?
Yeah.
The conservative group is the people that invited her to campus, but the people who are protesting are the ones that are really keeping her employed.
Right.
Because you can't claim to be a symbol of standing up against people trying to stop free speech if people are letting you be free to speak. So this backs up all of her, everything she's saying. So she looks like a hero, and then they fancy themselves heroes because they didn't show up. So
the one thing too, Kimberly, is that this isn't an aberration. We saw this after Trump won. There were people in the media that were saying violence is no different than activism. Like, you should go out and hit the streets. And also during those law enforcement eruptions when they were looting, people were saying, well, this is a form of protest. So this isn't anything new. People are conflating violence with activism.
Well, and they shouldn't, because that's breaking the law. I mean, they're not allowed to assault other people and destroy, property. People's businesses end up getting looted. Tremendous amount of property damage. So there has to be accountability. When you have these groups like the Antifa, who are really just ultimately fascists themselves, because they want no one else to speak unless they agree with their ideology, and it's really chilling free speech in this country, which is one of the most important principles that we have fought for in this country. Why people want to come here to be able to say their viewpoint.
They call themselves anti-fascists. Like, look at yourself and your covered mask and you're punching somebody.
Yeah. You want cause and effect? They didn't show up and there was no violence. That's called cause and effect, America. I'm going to keep staring at you until it's really uncomfortable. By the way, Antifa should stand for Anti-First Amendment. Get it? I'm going to pretend that I came up with that, even though I saw it on Twitter. Because that's what people on TV do. They pretend they came up with it, but they saw it on Twitter. Some guy in Oklahoma did it, and I stole it. Up next, President Trump talks to the NRA, and Venezuela hangs by a thread under socialist rule, probably because it doesn't have an NRA. He's the one who won't take away your gun. On Friday, President Trump spoke to the National Rifle Association, where he delivered this applause line.
The 8-year assault on your Second Amendment freedoms has come to a crashing end.
Yes, the Second Amendment is here to stay. I can just hear the left now. Just hold your phone this way. So, to those who think the Trump presidency is the end of civilization, I say to you, Venezuela. Yes, Venezuela, whose socialist policies have led to a currency collapse, bread lines, and a toilet paper shortage. I know. But Greg, what does that have to do with the Second Amendment? I'm glad you asked. Venezuela's situation validates the right to own guns. In 2012, Venezuela banned private gun ownership. And this week, as opposition to the government grows, Venezuelan President Maduro announced that he will be giving away guns to 400,000 civilian loyalists. This is crazy. So the next time someone tells you the country's going to hell because Trump's in office, remind them of Venezuela. Remind them of the rights we have, including our Second Amendment. And you know who agrees with me? One of the smartest minds in America.
When you look at Venezuela, you understand why we are so lucky that we have the Second Amendment, because guns preserve our freedom and liberty from tyranny.
I'd like to say I repurpose information quite well. Tom,
I knew I had heard that somewhere, Greg. It
Right?
was you. I was
Exactly.
like,
I was
someone
like-
smart said this.
I believe it's so important that I have to repeat myself.
Mailing it in.
No, it's not mailing it in.
You just
Reminds me
talked
of a
in
good
fourth
idea,
person.
mailing it in. Hey, Tom, why is the media ignoring Venezuela? Like we keep hearing about America as a dystopia. We have shows on what's the new show, The Handmaid's Tale? They're comparing it to America. It's a dystopian universe. No, Venezuela is real life dystopia going on right now.
Because they're the real jingoists, Greg. They're only focused on America. They only see America's problems because they're the ones looking in. They have this kind of bizarre. It's like anti-nationalism. They can't think beyond our own borders because they're critical people, but they don't want to see the sadness in the rest of the world because things here are actually quite good.
They are. I mean, by comparison, Kimberly,
Yes.
Venezuela can't afford toilet paper.
Toilet paper.
Which is weird because socialism is pure crap.
Right. Oh, yeah. I love it. I love when you go to me with the bathroom jokes.
They tell me to stop with the toilet humor, but it's inside me.
Because you have a potty mouth. Okay, so they don't have toilet paper, beer, rights.
Yeah.
Wait, what? No beer?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Oh man!
That's how you get people's attention in America.
But they got a
They're
ton of
"Wait a
Kool-Aid though, right?
second." They got the Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid,
exactly.
no sugar,
A
no
little
no
bit
burger.
that's
But
left over
the
from
thing
Greg.
is, I've been following Venezuela for a while. It is seriously sad.
So they're murdering people on
Yeah,
the streets,
yeah.
people shooting people for $5. It's very sad. I mean, the people are really suffering there. It's not covered a lot. You won't see it anywhere covered in the mainstream media. But yet, you see people here, if they only knew about it and equipped themselves with the facts to see the juxtaposition of what government is like there in Venezuela versus what we have, they'd be a little bit more appreciative and reasonable.
It drives me nuts, Kat. I know that President Trump isn't your favorite president. But the way people talk about him here while this is going on it seems to me like we're in bizarro world.
Yeah, I completely agree. If you look at Venezuela, that's why I hate to see people who are, gun advocates who argue, well, I need it for hunting. What about hunting? And how many animals do you know? That's not what it's about. It's about the culture thing. It was supposed to be so we, could have a militia it's the government trying to take our rights. You say, look at Venezuela. That's why we need to do this. That's why I wish I would hear more of that instead of just, don't take away my hunting. That's not really the issue.
Yeah. It's not the animals that are gonna turn into fascists.
Exactly. Well, not normally.
Yeah. Last word, Tyrus. The threat of force preserves freedom. You should know that.
Oh yes, because I'm allowed to in this day and age use force. I wish. But no.
Could you please
Just
stop
please,
doing that?
Donald Trump, executive order, please. No,
You kind of carry yourself as a threat of force.
Well,
let's be
I
honest.
have a wish attitude. I wish you would. That's kind of my deal. Leave me alone. I have headphones on for a reason. It's a warning, not my music. But the whole thing about Venezuela, which is truly sad, is like they have real issues to be upset about, and we have become such a bunch of babies, and we don't get our way.
Right.
Yeah.
You got electricity. If you have a cell phone, you can download your favorite apps on it.
Yeah.
You're doing all right.
Yeah.
You're doing all right in the world.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have a bar. Oh my God. People are getting shot in the street for looking sideways in the next country, and because they don't have oil fields, no one's rushing in to save them.
Yeah, and it's amazing. It's one of the richest countries via oil on the planet, and they can't do anything with it.
Yeah, tremendous natural resources in the hands of a few.
Yeah. Well put, Kimberly.
Thank you.
You should do a primetime show.
Really?
Yes, I have an idea I want to talk to you about. All right, up next. Does Trump give a tip if Americans light up a spliff? Back in a jiff. As our country goes to pot, does Trump think, why not? Colorado governor and difficult Wheel of Fortune puzzle, John Hickenlooper, met with Attorney General Jeff Sessions this week over the state's legal marijuana policy and thinks the Justice Department may leave Colorado's cannabis industry alone.
He is anti-drugs in all forms, and he's not going to in any way encourage anyone to start a marijuana business, to think that's a great idea to do or even safe to do so. That being said, he didn't give me any reason to think that he is going to come down and suddenly try to put everyone out of business.
Interesting. Hickenlooper went on to say it sounded like the Justice Department had its hands full with other priorities. We now get reaction from Colorado's pro-pot community. I've been there, little guy. Screw the ball. Kat, could it be that Donald Trump isn't that interested in interfering in American lives?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he just doesn't care.
Yeah, because, you know, there's nothing worse than weed. That really should be the top priority. The people on the weed, everything's going to be ruined. You know, prescription pills, no problems with those. But weed, yeah, he's got to stay out of it. Well, one of the things I dislike about Jeff Sessions the most is that he is so anti-pot, just because it doesn't matter. I mean, no one's ever died from it. You know that somebody in England died from drinking too much carrot juice?
Yes.
They had a vitamin A overdose. Their liver couldn't handle all the carrot juice.
Right. Well, no, you can drown in water.
Yeah, exactly. You should.
I mean, you know what I mean. Everything can kill you.
Except weed.
It is interesting. There's a lot. It's a hard time finding actual proof that you could overdose on, is what you're saying.
Yeah, well, you can't overdose on.
You gotta sleep.
You can become like an annoying person to hang out with, but that's about it.
I am, Tyrus. Your thoughts?
My thoughts on weed. A great after dinner mint. I don't know. Here's the thing. It's going to get hit.
Yeah.
Because we're a divided country. And who loves the weed? And I'm saying the weed. I sound like my great-grandfather, who I never met.
He's on the
but
weed.
I would imagine he talked that way. But that's very lefty. And since the lefties trying to destroy all the right stuff, you don't think they'd be like, well, since you wouldn't help us with this and we couldn't get anyone to vote with this, how about this? We take away your weed.
I don't know if
it's going to happen.
I don't know if
Sessions is going to.
It's a very libertarian thing.
You think Sessions is going to just. Yeah. That's an easy fix. That's a good punch in the face.
I know, Kimberly, you are a prosecutor. You hate drugs of all kinds.
Well, I mean, no.
Oh, wait, you love some drugs, Kimberly? Which ones?
Drugs that help people manage chronic illnesses.
That's very good, yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. Drugs that help fight cancer.
Right.
So, yes, I enjoy and applaud science and research and innovation, but I don't support. I mean, look, you're going to do what you're going to do, but just saying, I've never smoked any weed, done any drugs, and, I mean, it speaks for itself.
So you remember?
I rest my case.
Do you remember when we were growing up? It was like, this is your brain on drugs. The new commercial is, this is Kimberly Guilfoyle. She's never done drugs.
Right.
And then that's the commercial, and then everybody quits. Tom, you're a father, and a strict, mean father, according to your great new book.
Yes.
But don't you find that, trying to ban a substance doesn't work in a world where there is pain? Everybody's trying to find their own oblivion. How can the law tell me what to do with my oblivion? How can the law tell me what I can do with my own body?
Oh, Greg, you may be right. Why don't we leave it to the dads?
Okay.
We don't need the president, you know. I'm anti-drug, but you got to leave it to dad, because dad's come up with good solutions.
Like what?
When your dad caught you smoking a cigarette, he made you smoke 5 packs.
That's true.
If I catch you smoking weed, you're going to have some, have a dime bag. Is that what it's called? Have a dime bag.
So everybody on this panel had a dad?
Yeah.
Wow, what was that like?
And on that note, Tyrus, I'll be your dad.
No.
Oh, my God.
I tried.
Daddy loves
anyway,
Trump.
Final thoughts next. And someone's getting a new show.